Hey everyone! Today we're going to be drawing a friendly little Mudwing Hivewing hybrid. Honestly, the end result for this kinda just ended up looking like a dog, but that's probably just the colors I chose. Plus, I gave him a little fuzz to kind of lean into the Hivewing vibe, so that doesn't exactly help either. But regardless, introducing Fen. He's a Mudwing Hivewing hybrid, like I said. This design I totally did because I just wanted to use this color palette. I was looking for mood boards to use for design, and I stumbled upon this set of colors, and I just really liked it. I think adding in some light pinks might have been a cool touch, but I wanted to kind of stick with the earthy tone adjacent set I had going on. He has purplish eyes though, so that's kind of fun. For Fen, I really just picked the colors I wanted to use and then picked two tribes I hadn't paired yet. And I decided to give his ankles and underbelly a bit of fluff too, since Hivewing ended up being one of the tribes, cause, you know, bees are fluffy, right? Anyhow, there isn't a whole lot to say for this design, process-wise. I didn't really need to spend much time going over my colors since I pretty much just drew them from the palette I found. The only trick was making them all work together on this dragon, which I think I did nicely. I love how his legs turned out. I think it's a really fun, chaotic mix of the colors, and both sets of legs have kinda a different style going on, which I like. I can't tell you how much I love this color palette. I'm really into earthy tones right now, and this is a fun set because it has a couple lighter, more yellow-gray tones, and some richer, bright oranges, and then the little spots of red and maroon for some extra pop. I couldn't decide for a while if I wanted him to live on Pentala or Pyria, considering his mixed heritage, until it came to me, why not have him live on both continents? So Fen was hatched in one of the hives on Pentala, some years after the defeat of Queen Wasp. He never met his father, but he grew up with his mother and half-brother, both full Hivewings. Although Fen could sort of pass as a Hivewing, his stocky build and warmer colors, as well as his strange ability to touch fire without suffering injury, have always been a sign that he was different. Fen's mother had never told him who his father was, though, so he had no way of knowing why he was so different. Even worse, he's a poor flyer. His stockier build and thicker bones mean his Hivewing wings struggle to support him in the air. Unbeknownst to him, his mixed heritage means he doesn't have the thin, strong bones of a Hivewing, the structure that allows them to stay in the air with their smaller, narrower wings. Without that build, Fen has a hard time flying. He can glide over long distances with some success, but quick bouts of flight, requiring movement up or down or precision landing, give him trouble. This is just one more reason dragonets his age have to look down on him, including his half-brother. Growing up, Fen never felt too connected with his mother or half-sibling. He's a quiet, calm dragon, preferring to take things slow and consider all his actions. His family tend to be snappish, and they're consistently frustrated with what they consider his dullness. Being good-natured, Fen doesn't know how to handle their attitudes, and usually seeks solace outside his home. It wasn't until he was nearly an adult that he learned of his true parentage, the reason his mother and older half-brother disliked him so deeply. The day Fen learned he was part Mudwing, everything changed for him. Suddenly, there was a missing half to the equation of his life, a reason for his little oddities. He'd inherited his colors and body from his father, and there might be a dragon out there somewhere who would love him for that instead of looking down on him. Fen worked the information on his father out of his mother during the following weeks, only to learn that he'd returned to Pyria not long before Fen's hatching. He'd been part of some delegation, one of the many who traveled between their continents. Fen's mother had never seen him again, though, so she'd assumed he'd either died or found a different job. Every waking moment was consumed for Fen after that. He could only think about his mystery father out there somewhere, waiting for his dragonet to find him. So he decided to leave home with the next group that headed for Pyria. It was a hard, dangerous journey, even more difficult for someone who had trouble flying. But traveling with a group meant there was always other dragons around to help Fen, and he made some lifelong friends during the long trip over the endless ocean. However, once he arrived at Pentala and traveled to the Mud Kingdom to look for his father, Fen hit a dead end. Nobody had seen his father in years, or knew where he could be found. Most Mudwings laughed at him for trying to search. Apparently Mudwings didn't really do family in their tribe. Fen was determined not to quit looking, though, so he expanded his search outside the Mud Kingdom, asking anyone and everyone if they knew what had happened to his father or where he went. I feel like this would be a fun character to have like as a side character in a story. He's traveling Pyria looking for his missing dad. Will he find him? Will his dad be happy to meet him, or will he have a more typical muttering reaction of not caring at all? Did his dad run away from the family he started on Pantala? Or is there a more sinister plan in the works here? I just think Fenn's backstory leaves lots of room to play with, and that's kind of fun. But that'll wrap up this episode. If you liked Fenn, he's up for auction over on my DeviantArt until noon on Monday, so you've got 24 hours to make a bid if you're interested in owning him. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. You can check out the rest of my Let's Design series too. I draw a new hybrid every time, and it's always pretty neat. Thanks for watching, and have a blessed day.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go.